Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Transfers are a bit like buses. You wait for one and another one's going to happen very, very soon. And it seems that the juggernaut that is West Ham and transfer news and rumours has gone into overdrive the last couple of days. Obviously, we spoke about Carlos Borges. Fabrizio Romano tweeted, which has since been corroborated by Jacob Steinberg and X. That's the Holy Trinity. That's the three. That we are in very close negotiations with Man City for the £14 million purchase of Carlos Borges, the Portuguese youth international. Absolute beast of a kid. He's got pace for days and really, really excited. So exactly the type of player we need to bring in. And he's got Tim Steiden's hands all over that one, in my opinion, all over that. But there's been more rumors. Let's go through the latest rumors for you. So the first one starts with a striker we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, actually. But it's the Almeria striker, El Bilai Toure. Apparently, we have made an approach to sign him, according to Diallo di Alameda, who reported that the London club have made a secret approach. Secret, don't tell anyone. A secret approach for the Mali international striker. The report says that Everton and Italian side Atalanta approaches are public. They've made public approaches, but we're quietly interested. Oh, it sounds exciting. We both had Everton and Atalanta apparently have both had bids rejected for the striker, who is likely to leave this summer. They've been rejected because the bids are too low. Toure has a as a release activation fee of £35 million. And if you're looking for pace, man, this guy, and we spoke about what's his name? We spoke about Carlos having pace. This guy has pace for days, man. For days, as the kids say. He's very, very, very quick. And he's 21. As I said, he's a Mali international as well. For Almeria last year, he wasn't a starter for Almeria. He'd maybe get 45, 60 minutes on average a game. I think he got 7 or 8 goals for them in 20 odd appearances. So not terribly prolific, but again, for me, this has a lot of Steinden fingers over it in terms of someone under the radar who's 21. He's still got his formative years ahead of him. If you can get for the right price, you've got yourself someone, a special player then. And Steiden's done it with lots of other players. So you're going to start seeing these guys. So when we start talking about their stats, they're not going to be particularly, oh my God, his stats are amazing. They're not great. They're not, he's not like, he's 1 in 3 basically in terms of goals to game, but he's got attributes which would fit a very, very side that's built on pace. You look at, as I said, Carlos, you look at someone like him, Bowen's got pace. You've got Mbama's got pace. You've got Cornet's got pace. That's how we need to address this season. Very, very quick pace wingers and forwards. So that's one that's more likely to happen than this one. Apparently, West Ham are dreaming big. We're dreaming big. Reach for the stars, and all you can hit is the ceiling. That's it. West Ham and Aston Villa are apparently trying to look at the possibility of bringing in the Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic. And that's according to Gazzetta dello Sport, my favourite Italian media network, who trying to get Schumacher over there, trying desperately, so much so they've offered Vlahovic over. They think he's going to be a potential signing for West Ham. The Italian newspaper bring the surprising news on Thursday as they look at the situation regarding the Juventus star who could be sold if the offer comes in right. Apparently, the Turin side would want 80 million euros for their striker, which is a fee that neither us or Villa have spent in our entire history. But that don't stop them asking a few questions, apparently. Also, Paris Saint-Germain are keen. I know Chelsea are keen as well. And it's stated that PSG have yet to come in with anything concrete. And the real inquiries from England have only come from what they describe as lesser clubs before naming West Ham and Aston Villa in the report. Convincing Dusan to come to West Ham or Villa is going to be a tall order. But contact apparently has been made, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. So the biggest pinch of salt you need to take that information from. My thoughts about Gazzetta dello Sport, I talk about in Hammer's headlines today, which we did a little bit earlier on. What else we got? What else we got? Well, let's keep with the Italian theme in terms of Italian strikers. Now, apparently, West Ham have been given the green light to sign Divock Origi amid AC Milan's pre-season snub. We said this afternoon in Hammer's headlines how Armando Broja was not included in the Chelsea's US trip pre-season. Well, that apparently is the case as well with Divock Origi. And he is not on their pre-season tour. In the new development to his future at the Serie A club, it's been left out of the pre-season tour to the United States as well, according to Calciomercato. It states that Milan takes a hard line with redundancies, players on sale or on the verge, or no longer considered part of the project. So clearly, he's one of them. He's either he's leaving, he's not signing a new contract, or he's not part of the project. It noted that Origi, along with Fode, Ballo, Toure, and Ante Rebic, will not leave for the United States, where the Vizzori will play 3 friendlies against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus. So it's a real blow for Origi in terms of establishing himself, looking to get a good season under his belt, a good pre-season. But it does open up the potential of him maybe moving to the Premier League, for example. He's 28 years old now. Obviously, he had previous spells at Liverpool. He's played in the Champions League. He scored in the final victory against Tottenham in 18-19. And obviously with West Ham looking at the Premier League particularly and Europe next season, could we do a lot worse than Divock Origi? Wherever he's gone, he's always been a bit player, hasn't really been a main man. Obviously, there was talks with him apparently before he went to AC Milan on a free transfer. That hasn't worked out in terms of the move to AC. In fact, Zlatan Ibrahimovic was ahead of him, but then Zlatan is Zlatan. I think if the price was right, I could see him coming in. Maybe but he wouldn't want to come as a squad player either. But then maybe he's not going to get any game time at Milan anyway. So we shall see. We shall see. Well, whereas all the others, in terms of Carlos, in terms of Toure, very much one's the future. Arguably, Divock can come in and at least he knows the Premier League. There shouldn't be too much. There shouldn't be too much bedding in period for him, you'd imagine. And it may open up the path for someone like Antonio to go to the Saudi League, which is what he's been linked with, and possibly even Skarmaka as well. Particularly with the Dusan Vlahovic, do a swap deal with him. Stop doing him, yeah, whatever. And lastly, some relatively breaking news, so to speak. According to TalkSport, West Ham are set to make a second bid for João Palhinha. As I said, Alex Crook, the TalkSport lead journalist, reporting that the Hammers are preparing a new offer for the Portuguese international as they step up their plans to replace who should not be named. We had a bid of 40. Or Rashane Athletics is £45 million for the 28-year-old, rejected a week or so ago, but now apparently was set to return with a new and improved bid to tempt the Cottagers to part with the player they signed for just £20 million last summer and was statistically one of the best CDM in the top 5 divisions in Europe. Alex said on his Twitter saying West Ham are preparing a second bid for Paulina. Understand a second bid is imminent. So we'll see what that means. There's a feeling that the clubs could compromise on a deal, maybe around the 60 million. It seems a lot for me for a 28-year-old. You're not going to get much sell on value there. Obviously, you went in for 45 million. I think that was probably the top end. But it'd be interesting. There's this definite change in transfer policy, it seems. Someone said, is it always that Moyes will put a bid in for someone who gets rejected, and Tim comes along with a younger model? And it does seem a little bit like that, but there does have to be a balance between improving the team immediately and improving the team in terms of developing the side going forward. For someone like Palhinha, he comes in, he slots in. He's a guy I wouldn't mind us getting because I think there's no risk involved for him getting him in. But the flip side is there's no sell on value, and the chances are, you might get 3 years, 4 years out of him maybe, before he sort of comes to an end of his usefulness, so to speak. Whereas someone like Carlos Borges comes in, and I think for £14 million, 19-year-old, I think he comes in and goes into the first team. That's his part. He's got the pathway there now, and you could have him there for the next 4, 5, 6 years, and continue to improve and develop. So it's a balancing act, really, isn't it? You don't want to have all the kids and it all goes to shit. And we're, by the time someone like, I don't know, Toure is firing all cylinders, say 2 years, 3 years down the line, we could be in League Two by then, isn't it? So anyway, on that lovely note, as I said, check out the channel tomorrow. I'm having a rant. And my rant tomorrow is why I'm happy with selling Cresswell. Oh, Russ, you mean bastard. But check it out. It'll be tomorrow morning. Anton and Holly will be doing the Hammers headlines and daily shows tomorrow. I've got to take Flo to get her ears pierced. Yeah. Me, the man who passed out on his BCG test. I've got to take my daughter to get her ears pierced. It's got to be done properly because she was. I won't bore you, but she's got very strong ears. We'll just say that. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, keep the faith, my friends. We'll keep you in touch with any of the latest news that happens, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, my friends.